Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie. I am a full-time trader and a mentor in the crypto and Forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin, ETH, and we're going to take a look at SOL. Not financial advice, of course. It's just my bias. All right, so let's take a look at what Bitcoin did when it went on its previous bull runs on the weekly time frame. And why are we going to look at this? Well, the market is under, a mixed sentiment right now. Some people believe that we are going back on a bull market. Some people don't believe it at all. Okay. But let's take a look at some things that need to happen so that you will be aware of whether it's failing to do that or there's a chance it could. Okay. So when we bottomed, or Bitcoin bottomed back in 2011 on the 30 mark, the weekly time frame RSI pushed above the bullish zone, which is 40 to 50, held it as support, and then pushed way above the 60 to 70 mark, which is the bearish resistance zone. Again, back in 2015, it bottomed at 30, pushed up, held the bullish zone as support, and then pushed above 60 to 70. It then will trend up in the 50 to high 90s until the bull market's over and it breaks through 50 again. Let's take a look at this run here. It bottomed at 30, pushed through the bullish zone, and eventually pushed up over the 60 to 70 mark. Okay? So with that being said, we need to see the weekly time frame come from 30, check number one, push up. Now it is pulled back and has pivoted off of the bullish zone. RSI now needs to push above 60 to 70 and wipe out any bearish divergence that it would have between these two pivots. At that point, it will need to pull back, reset itself on the bullish zone, and trend up in this area. If Bitcoin intends to go back on a bull run, that is exactly what it will do. So basically, say that we're going higher here and we push up in a big third wave, this RSI will push up above 60 to 70, way up in the 80, 90s. And with every correction, it will hold 40 to 50. If that is not the plan, and a bull run is not going to happen right now, then RSI will fail. One, it may push up above 60 to 70, but it'll fall back through 50. So with the correction it would make, it would fall back through 50 and not hold the bullish support zone. Or it will fail to push through, one or the other. So that is what you need to look for in the weekly time frame. And every time frame below builds into the higher time frame. So with that being said, we need to see the 4-day, the 2-day, and the daily do exactly what I said first. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin on the daily time frame. Okay, so the daily time frame has pushed above the 60 to 70 mark. Now we need the daily to hold 40 to 50 in the bullish zone and then push back above. We need it to trend up in this area. Let's talk about the price action we have going on here. Let's talk about the bullish options first. The bullish option is this could be a nest, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Or it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it doesn't matter which one it is. At this point, it doesn't matter because it all boils down to the same thing. We want this leg here to be the start of something, not the end. And we'll talk about that in a minute. We want this leg to be a wave 1 and a wave 2 of either a massive bull run to come, so a big third wave, or we want it to be the wave 1 and 2 for a C wave. Okay? We want to put 5 waves over here. So with that being said, we do not want to come through the golden zone, this green box that I have here. There would be no reason to close candles underneath this support now. If this wave is going to be the start of something, it should not come through the green box and close candles. If it does come through the green box, we want to see a very quick buy V-shaped recovery and flip this back to support. With that being said, just as I said, we want it to be a wave 1 and wave 2. It doesn't matter what this is, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's a nest. This is what we want to be the start of something. All right, let's talk about the bearish option. Bearish option is that this wave would have to be the end of something. And for it to be the end of something, it would have to either be a 5th wave or a B wave. Let's talk about the 5th wave first. If it is a 5th wave, then we have something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could have a hit to the high left in it, and we'll talk about that when we get on the lower time frames. If it is a 5th wave, either now or after the hit to the high, we will see a harsh rejection that closes candles back up underneath this support. Okay? Let's talk about the B wave now. If it is a B wave, it means that it's coming from back here, A, B, C. Could have an extra hit to the high. And then this leg will give itself a partner. There's 2 options. First one is a running flat. A running flat will not break the A wave low. So this would be A, this would be B, and it would come down in a C. But it wouldn't break this low, which would be very bullish. It would make this very bullish correction. So we would look for the exact same thing as the wave 2. We wouldn't want to come through this green box. The more harsher is the expanded flat, where we have an A wave, a B wave, and then we get 5 waves of pullback that bonks its head on this resistance and then comes through and gives us a deeper 5 waves. This would be an expanded flat. We do not want to see this at the top. Why? Because expanded flats happen at the top and they're failure patterns. A lot of people look at them as a BART pattern, where you get this choppy price action, a hit to the high, and then it BARTs down. Okay? The reason is they're hard to recover from. This sharp C wave turns the market bearish. People are afraid to buy in. We get just a bounce to the upside that bonks its head here, and now this leg needs a partner leg, and it ends up going downwards, breaking this low. So if we're going to get a correction that this is a B wave, we really want it to be the running flat and not the expanded flat. Okay. All right, let's go down on a lower time frame and dig into this a little bit and talk about it some more. All right. So right now we could be still sideways in a 4th wave. If this wick is taken, I will no longer be looking at this as a 4th wave and still a 5th wave to the upside. If we do get the 5th wave, we will have this reversal divergence between those waves. At that point, we're still going to be looking for that controlled pullback that comes back into the golden zone. And if it plans to come deeper to the downside, we don't want to come through the golden zone. Okay, so 2 options. Either it comes deeper, or we have a hit to the high and then we correct. Okay. Right now, to me, this wave off the bottom is corrective, which leads to this leg getting more of a partner leg to the downside. So more than likely, it's done and this is going to correct deeper. But be aware, this wick needs to be taken. ETH is the exact same thing. It doesn't matter if we have a nest of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, it doesn't matter. Or we have a 1 and a 2, and this is 5 waves. The bullish option remains the same, that we want this to be the start of something. With that being said, it can't come under the red line. That's the invalidation point. And we don't want it to come through the golden zone. So the green box is the line in the sand for this correction. There's no reason to close candles underneath this V-shaped recovery. It can come down to it, but coming underneath would be bearish, and it would mean that we're getting a deeper correction. Same as Bitcoin. We have the option that this is an A, a B wave, and we get a deeper C. Actually, I did that a little backwards. This would be the middle, and then this would get the partner. This would be B, and then it would get a deeper C wave to the downside. Okay, so if this corrects underneath the green box, more than likely we're getting a deeper correction, but we're still looking for a 2. Okay, or a B wave. It doesn't matter which one, both lead to more upside. Both lead. So say Bitcoin gives us a deeper correction, a wave 2 or a B wave, both lead to this leg getting a partner. Both lead to this leg getting a partner. All right, and there's always the option, and I know I'm flipping back and forth, okay, but that is because they're both the same. There's always the option that this whole thing is the end of something, okay, and that we have an A, a B, and this is a C wave, even with that hit to the high, and it's coming deep. Okay, there's always that option that it is ready, and its plan is to give this leg a partner to the downside. Hit to the high, and down it comes. Okay, there's always that option. But until we come through this support, and until we come through this support, we're still going to be looking for a B wave or a wave 2. All right, let's take a look at Sol. All right, so Sol has been pumping, okay? Sol is currently, my bias is that it's giving this leg a partner leg. We have the 618 and the 1-to-1. First target would be the 618. As you can see, it's going to run into major resistance at that point. It's also the extensions that this current leg would hit. So be thinking, if you are long, not financial advice, make it a free trade. It has flipped this area now to support, which is very good, and it needs to keep going and break through here. If it can do that, it will make it up to the second resistance and up probably to the 1-to-1. This whole middle section is a correction. Now, let's take a look at this leg and determine whether this is a wave 1 and a wave 2, or this was a climbing zigzag, and this is a W, an X, and this is currently making Y. All right, when we take a look at the lower time frame on this leg that's been climbing to the upside, you can clearly see we have overlaps. Okay, with that being said, the next step when you have overlaps is to try to turn it into a diagonal. Only current way that I could potentially make it a diagonal is like this, and assume that all the legs are 3s. If this leg gets any bigger, without pulling back and breaking this trend line, it's going to invalidate the diagonal. Why? Because you can't, the third wave has to be longer than the fifth. Okay? So, Sol needs to correct and give us a correction without getting any larger. If it can do that, then we have the potential of a wave 1 and a wave 2, or an A wave and a B wave, and what it means is both would lead to more upside. If Sol keeps climbing and it makes this leg bigger than this one, then unfortunately it's climbing corrective in ABC, X wave, ABC. Now, it doesn't mean that it can't go higher. All it has to do is flip this area to support. This would turn into a higher degree A or W. This would turn into a higher degree, depending on how deep it comes, X or B. And then this leg could get a partner to the upside. It is clearly broken this trend line, and it needs to stay on top of it now. If it plans to correct, whether for the diagonal or it plans to go higher and correct, it needs to stay above this now. So I hope that wasn't too complicated. I hope that you understood. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.